This is episode 2 of A Christmas Table, and we'll be posting every day until Christmas to help you out during this holiday season by preparing beautiful feasts with a masterful centerpiece and lots of sides and stuff that you can serve your guests, your friends, or your family. Vegans, I did not forget you this time. Last year we did, this year I got you covered. We are making a full vegan feast that even carnivores will like. And it uses mungo as its main ingredient. I'll see you guys in the kitchen.
Let's make a fire, just me and you. Talk about all that we can do. We gon' make this December a Christmas to remember. We gon' make this December a Christmas to remember.
This is episode 2 of the videos that will help you get out of the kitchen faster and get the food out quicker in front of your guests during this Christmas season. As you'll realize that this series is shot very differently because we just want to show you the process very efficiently, so that way it's very easy to use as a guide when you're actually cooking them during this festive and Christmas season. You're probably entertaining quite a lot, so hopefully these will help you guys at home. Today is all about making a meatless feast. A lot of people have been watching Game Changers or watching documentaries about veganism or vegetarianism, and to those who I've talked to, some of them are actually considering either going full vegan in 2020 or at least looking at eating less meat, which is something that I say that all people should do. Like, having a steak every day isn't necessarily something that, one, all of us can afford, 2, is really good for the health. Like, it's all about balanced nutrition. So it's why I always advocate eating as much vegetables as possible. And the basis of your food pyramid, which means the groups that you'll be consuming more and more each day of, should be vegetables and fruits and nuts and things like that. Meat should be consumed maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Just find your balance and find something that makes you happy and that's easy to sustain throughout. So we're gonna be making a quote-unquote meatloaf by using some oats, some lentils, things that really are heavy and quite starchy, and that'll combine well in a bread pan to come out as something that looks like a meatloaf. Honestly, I'm not a fan of making fake meat food, but this makes a lot of sense because the ingredients are really dense nutritionally, really tasty, and by adding certain ingredients, you can give it kind of like an umami flavor. It's really simple. We'll first start by building the flavor that we need. We've got some garlic, some onions, some celery, all of that finely chopped, and then tossed in a pan with some oil, a little bit of salt, and just really stir frying it for maybe 5 minutes until that flavor really comes through. Next, in a food processor, a blender, or a spice grinder, blend together some walnuts and some cashews. You're then gonna take some mungo, some cooked mungo. It doesn't have to be fully cooked. Just make sure that you do put it in water for at least 5 to 6 hours so it gets nice and soft, and then boil it maybe for 30 minutes, not until it kind of like goes all over the place, but until it's nice and tender. To that, we're gonna be adding a bunch of stuff. So you're first gonna start with some firm tofu. Make sure that it's fully drained and that it doesn't retain any of the water. And then to that, you're gonna add some oats. All that gets mixed together with the celery, the onions, and the garlic from the pan. Now for some very basic seasoning: salt, pepper, ketchup, dried herbs like parsley, sage, and thyme, even some fresh thyme if you want to. And for me, what really works is adding some ketchup and some soy sauce just to give you kind of like that meaty flavor. All that gets mixed together, and very quickly you'll see that it starts forming the texture of kind of like ground beef or ground chicken. That can be helped by adding a little bit of vegetable stock as it combines everything nicely. You then take a loaf pan, line that up with some parchment paper, compact all that mixture inside until it really does feel like a loaf of meat, and then put that in the oven for about 55 to 60 minutes at around 375 Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. This is gonna be served with a quick mushroom sauce. All you gotta do is saute some onions, some garlic, add in some mushrooms to that. You can use absolutely any type of mushroom you want. Saute that until it gets nice and brown, and then we're gonna add some white wine to deglaze the pan and get all those flavors that have been trapped at the bottom of the pan. You're then gonna add some vegetable stock to really just bring the sauce together and make a quick flurry out of almond milk. Make sure it's unsweetened, no like vanilla flavor because that's really weird. And then mix that with a tablespoon of flour, toss everything inside, bring it to a simmer until it's all nice and thick, kind of like a gravy. For our main starch, very simple. Grab a whole potato, wrap it in some aluminum foil, toss that in the oven. It'll be cooked by the time your loaf is cooked. Last, for some greens, one of my favorite greens to eat is kale because it's really filling, really dense nutritionally, and more people now in the Philippines are planting it, so you can actually find kale in wet markets and all around the Philippines, which I think is really awesome. What I like to do with it is just bruise it a little bit by adding some lemon juice. The lemon juice will help break down kind of like that bitter flavor certain kale varieties can have, and then add in some olive oil, some salt and pepper. You got a beautiful salad ready for you. But what I love about this kind of salad, it's actually filling. If you did this with lettuce, it wouldn't be as hearty, but with kale, you can eat a whole bowl, and trust me, you'll get full really quickly. This just came out of the oven. Flip it out. Look how beautiful that looks. If you're wondering how I'm holding this, because it just came out of the oven, it's these rubber things. They're absolutely perfect. They don't conduct heat. Gorgeous. We're gonna flip it. Cut off one piece. Let's give that a taste. You see how kind of like beautiful and chunky that is? So this is something you can really serve and everyone would get excited about, because you know, when you think of vegan food, you think of salads. But you can make really good hearty food with just vegetables. That's actually pretty good. Let's plate it up. The sauce really brings it together. I mean, you can tell it's vegetables, but you won't miss meat, and I think that's the important part here. So if you're thinking of doing like a vegan feast for Christmas, and you need a recipe that would convince meat eaters to eat more vegetables, this is the one for you. So this is an ongoing series. We're coming up with a new video tomorrow, and it's exactly the same thing that we did today, having one kind of like main roast or main dish surrounded by different kinds of sides that you can do. We really want to get you out of the kitchen in an hour and a half, an hour max. So hope you enjoy these. See you tomorrow.